Okay, boys, it's time to make a little sense out of this roster, okay? I've been thinking about this tremendously. Get out of here, Ad. I've been thinking about this tremendously, and this is something that we've been talking about even in regards to possibly getting Ben Simmons with this roster makes sense. And I made a video labeled Built for Ben. And I really thought about this a lot, and I kind of came up with the realization that maybe, just maybe, the Spurs have gotten all of these shooters, not just because we need 3-point shooting, but because getting 3-point shooters is a prime way to figure out who's the next guy. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? I actually wrote down a few notes here just about why getting 3-point shooters are important and how that could really show who's going to be the next fella to take over this team, essentially. So one thing that I wrote down was that the thing about shooters, and obviously this is like obvious, okay? This isn't like, oh my God, basketball 101 by any means, but they create space. And if you're looking at some of the best players in the NBA even today, they benefit from space. Kevin Durant, you space out the court, and all of a sudden he can just do whatever he want. LeBron James, exact same way. Even Ben Simmons, exact same way. And if you could even think about like players of the past, like what would it have been like for a guy like Michael Jordan, even though he would average like 40 in the playoffs at times. Like he was freaking ridiculous. But like the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, what if Michael Jordan had a plethora of shooters? He would average 60 a game. And I think that that's what the Spurs are trying to do. And when you have guys like, say Primo, if he even plays, but you have guys like Primo, McDermott, Bryn Forbes. Actually, I don't even see Bryn Forbes on this list. This list needs to be updated. But but Bryn Forbes, Jock Landale, when you have guys like that, I think that they could really just space out the court. And someone like Lonnie Walker, you're really going to be able to see, is he the guy? It's not going to be a lot of no room for him. You're going to be able to pass the rock around, and you'll be able to ISO for a Lonnie. You'll be able to ISO for a DeJounte Murray, even a Derek White. These guys are really going to be able to benefit from having all of these shooters that the Spurs have just stacked on each other. And I think that now I'm starting to better understand this is a big if the Spurs don't do anything else, then this roster actually does make sense if you're thinking of it in the lens of who's going to be the next guy, because that's something we've been talking about. And I made a video about who's going to be the alpha dog. I believe, you've seen the video. I believe that it's going to be Lonnie Walker, or it should be Lonnie Walker. But this would be a good chance to see that. Another point that I wrote down was Giannis Antetokounmpo. If I say it right, I love you, Giannis. I'm sorry, but Giannis, he benefited from having shooters. He benefited from having people to space the floor for him, and it helped him become the guy and win a championship. When teams aren't capable of double teaming or closing in on guys, it really helps when you can have shooters just space things out. So like I said, man, in the people that I wrote down, we got Joe Weezy, because I can't say his name, so just Weezy. We got Primo, Fasale, who can space the floor, and that's kind of what his role was last season, for being honest. Jock Landale, McBuckets, and Forbes. Yeah, this could definitely be a way to see who's the guy. Heck, it could even be a way to see if Zach Collins can step up and be the guy that everyone kind of expect him to be coming into the league. So I think this is a phenomenal, and I think I mentioned Luka being a shooter too, but I think this is a phenomenal way to see who's going to be that guy and who's going to be a guy to come out of the ashes. It could be Keldon, it could be Lonnie, it could be DeJounte Murray, and shooters are going to do nothing more than just help us figure that out. And honestly, I'm not trying to say that this is a full-on competition where we're just going to each game say, okay, are you the guy? DeJounte Murray, this is your game. Or Lonnie Walker, are you the guy? This is your game. I'm not saying it's going to be that. I'm just saying it's going to be the reality of the situation. Somebody's going to have to come forward. Either, I really do believe this, we'll at least have one player, at least one, come out, and we'll sit back and say, well, that's a player we can't draft, and that's a player that will not be touched. Whether it be Keldon, whether it be DeJounte Murray, whether it be Lonnie, as we stand right now, no one's untouchable. But I think when this season is over, we're going to have at least one untouchable player, and that's because of the three-point shooting frenzy that the Spurs have just created. So a lot of people are going to look over this roster. Obviously, even these websites, they're kind of forgetting players here, unless I'm just looking over it, but looking past it. But yeah, people are going to look over our roster. People are going to just say that it doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you think of it in the realm of who's going to be the next guy, all these three-point shooters kind of do make sense. And I'm starting to understand it a little bit more. So just let me know what you think about it. You think I'm crazy? You think that it's some truth to it? Just let me know, man. Just let me know in the comments. Okay? Can you do that? Can you do that? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Oh, shameless plug. Hold on. Shameless plug. Patreon.com/Clan the Spurs fan. If you want to support the channel, just head on over to patreon.com/Clan the Spurs fans. Only $2 per month. Helps me with all these copyright claims that I get hit with, so it would mean the world to me. Link in the description for that. But I'll give it to you guys later. Till next time. Deuces, man.